A man who once knew your family is finally speaking out. What he knows about your mother's secret will change what you think forever. Archangel Michael says, "Do not be afraid as you open this message, for the truth it carries has waited long enough." This man, once close to your family, has watched from the shadows, holding in a truth that scorched his soul every night. The silence is breaking, and your understanding of your mother will never be the same again. For decades, his presence went unnoticed, like a breeze that brushes past but never lingers. He was a friend to your father once, someone who sat at their table, someone who saw too much. And now, what he remembers has resurfaced, and it's headed directly toward you. It begins with a letter left inside an old brown envelope, torn at the edges, the ink slightly smudged by time. The man who once vanished is now writing your name with trembling hands, praying you'll read before someone else intercepts it. Inside the letter, a single phrase is underlined twice: "Your mother's life wasn't what you were told." Archangel Michael says, "Prepare yourself emotionally, for this is not an attack, it's a rescue." Your mother, who seemed calm and composed, carried layers of secrecy beneath her smile. That smile, now you'll realize, often cracked at the corners when no one was watching. If you ever wondered why some moments in your past felt unfinished, it's because parts of the truth were deliberately withheld from you. This man was there the night your mother packed a bag and left for 3 days with no explanation. The lie told to you was that she had gone to a wedding, but the reality was chillingly different. She was hiding from someone who had power over her in a way no one else knew. It wasn't about infidelity or betrayal. It was about survival. What was chasing her wasn't just a person, it was a threat built on years of silence and control. The man explains in his trembling voice, "I should have spoken earlier. I saw her tears when she thought no one noticed. I saw what she wrote in her diary, the one she kept locked in the second drawer behind the broken mirror." He has described the exact layout of your old house, places even you barely recall. His details are hauntingly accurate. From the time your mother slipped out at midnight barefoot to the way she burned certain photos in the backyard while whispering names. These names weren't of people she hated, but people she feared. She had been part of something deeper, a chain that connected several women in your bloodline to a secret pact. This wasn't superstition, it was a real, whispered promise of protection passed down from generations before her. And someone had broken that promise. Type Amen to get blessing 333. You were never meant to know, at least, not this early. But the timing has aligned, and the truth is now pouring out like water through a cracked dam. The man reveals that your mother had once met with a woman from out of town, someone she referred to only as Sister Althea. He now confirms that Althea was not a sister by blood, but by oath. A vow shared under the light of a crescent moon, involving a ritual of silence. That vow was taken to protect a relic, something that had belonged to your mother's mother, and her mother before her. The relic was never meant to be found by outsiders. It is still hidden, somewhere not far from you. And now that you are beginning to feel your mother's presence more strongly in dreams and sudden thoughts, it's not a coincidence. She's guiding you to what was buried. The man says your mother whispered his name one last time before she disappeared into a particular night full of lightning. He was the last to see her awake and trembling, clutching a locket and a torn page from her own journal. She begged him to never speak, until now. What made him break that vow is what will break the illusion you've lived under. He has come to realize that protecting you is more important than honoring a code of silence. The page he kept has a symbol on it, a symbol traced in gold ink, representing the final key to the secret. Type Amen to get blessing 777. The symbol, when held to light, reveals a map. Not a map made of roads or geography, but of family, faces, dates, and hidden ties. It leads not just to a place, but to an understanding. The truth is, your mother knew something about your destiny long before you did. She worked tirelessly to shield you from what she endured. And this man, her former confidant, is handing you the final piece to understand why she did everything she did. Archangel Michael says, what you're discovering now is not meant to break you, but to remake you. You carry her strength, though you never fully saw the weight she bore. This letter reveals her final desire, that one day, you'd break free from the same fears that held her. He writes, she wasn't afraid of dying. She was afraid of you becoming what she had to become. That hits you like thunder wrapped in whispers. The sacrifice wasn't just for her life, but for your future. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. As you sit with the revelation, pieces of your childhood begin to click. The missing hours, the random calls, the way she never answered certain questions. All of it was orchestrated to keep you from asking the one thing that could change your world. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Now that the truth has surfaced, you must prepare. The symbol he shows you will soon become more than just an image. It will awaken something ancient in your blood. Not magic, not fantasy, but a real force, hidden through bloodline wisdom. This man didn't come forward for fame or closure. He came because he saw signs. Birds circling at dawn. The sound of your mother's song playing randomly in the air. He took these as a signal. It was time. The more you read, the more you'll realize this is not about betrayal. It's about inheritance, spiritual, emotional, and ancestral. You have more power in your hands than you've ever been told. This letter he gave you is meant to be read only once, then burned. But before that, there's one name on the bottom, written in a different ink, a name no one in your family ever mentioned, but that you've dreamt before. That name holds the final truth. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The final paragraphs in his letter reveal that the woman known as Sister Althea was still alive when he last saw her 2 years ago. And she mentioned you by name. She said the one born under the quiet eclipse would be the key to unbinding the generational pain. The date of your birth aligns exactly with that eclipse. Suddenly, your spine tingles, as if something inside you has heard a call it has been waiting years to respond to. He writes, go to the place where the 3 crows met you at the age of 9. You will know the rest. The man ends with this line, your mother never lied. She just protected you. Forgive her. And now become what she hoped you would never have to, but what you were born for. Type Amen to get blessing 444. He continues, the last time I saw her, she looked over her shoulder one last time, as if to check if someone was watching. Then she whispered, tell them everything, but only when the sky turns the same color it was that night. That night, he recalls, was unusually purple, with streaks of electric blue, just like the dream you had last week without knowing why. He urges you not to search recklessly but to feel your way through. Your mother trusted your soul more than your logic, because she knew your spirit would guide you to places your eyes couldn't. This isn't a journey of evidence, it's a journey of vibration, energy, and deep remembrance. Now the man has fallen ill. His time is short. That's why this letter reached you now and not earlier. He doesn't want pity, he wants release. He's carried her secret like a stone tied to his chest, and in giving it to you, he can finally breathe. He attached something to the envelope, an old photograph with burned edges. In it, your mother stands with 2 other women, all with matching bracelets and solemn faces. The caption on the back reads, "The 3 who guarded it." Your mother was not just one of them. She was the leader. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. You now realize why you felt drawn to that one tree at the edge of your old neighborhood. The one you used to pass without knowing why it pulled at your spirit. That's where she once buried something wrapped in red cloth, the first piece of the puzzle. Archangel Michael says, she planted messages in your life that would only blossom when the time was right, and now, they are blooming. That's why you've been feeling strange pulses of energy lately. You've been sensing the activation. This isn't fiction or imagination. This is the spiritual justice of a soul finally being heard. And you, the one she raised in half-truths, are finally stepping into your full knowing. The man's final warning is cryptic but clear. Not everyone will be happy, you know this. Some have built their peace on your silence. But peace built on secrets always crumbles. His hands were shaking as he wrote it. Type Amen to get blessing 818. The people who surrounded your mother weren't all allies. Some were watchers, assigned to ensure she didn't break her silence. They might approach you soon, pretending to offer help or act like they care. Be discerning. She kept a box sealed with 3 locks. Each lock opens with something symbolic: her old hairpin, your birthstone, and a letter you wrote her as a child. He has one of those items and is sending it to you wrapped in cloth from her old dress. Inside that box is the real story, a document that was never meant to exist, written in your mother's hand. It contains names, places, and moments that matched the story you were never told. The kind of truth that changes your posture and makes your heartbeat slow to listen. He begs you to be cautious. These secrets are protected by invisible energies, some gentle, some reactive. If you open the box with impatience or pride, the knowledge will confuse you. But if you approach with humility, clarity will rush in like sunlight through heavy clouds. Type Amen to get blessing 525. The man ends his letter with a heartbreaking line: I loved her once, but I feared her more, because even in silence, she knew things I never understood. That fear wasn't because she was dangerous, it was because she was awakened. She had a knowing in her eyes that scared people who preferred comfortable lies. She saw through masks. She knew how to smile politely while protecting an entire legacy of truth within her bones. You were chosen by her for this moment. All your hardships weren't punishment, they were preparation. Your loneliness, your confusion, your strange dreams, they were all whispers preparing you for this exact revelation. You might feel anger at first. How could she not tell you herself? But the truth is, she did, in her own way, through her gestures, her pauses, her rituals, and even the things she avoided. It was all part of a silent education. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. Now the question isn't, what happened, but, what are you going to do with this truth? The man leaves it open, trusting you. He knows if you follow the final clue, the song she used to hum at sunset, you'll find your next step. Archangel Michael says, trust what is waking up inside you now. It is not fear, it is activation. Your mother's voice still echoes, not in the past, but in your spiritual present. She's closer now than she ever was when alive. Your hands might tremble as you hold this letter. Your breath may shorten. That's natural. You are witnessing the final undoing of a lie that shaped your life. But once the lie is gone, space is created, for legacy, purpose, and a kind of power that no one can steal. This man has done his part. Now it's your move. Type Amen to get blessing 888 in the days ahead. You'll notice signs intensifying, numbers repeating, shadows moving in corner vision, emotions rising without reason. These are confirmations, not threats. You've entered what your mother called the mirror phase, a stage where everything around you reflects what's inside you. So pay attention. Every word spoken to you, every face you meet, may hold a message. The man has left town. He needed to disappear again after giving this message. But he says you'll know if he's near, because you smell her perfume in the air, even when alone. And that scent will mean, the next door is opening. Type Amen to get blessing 1717 as you begin this journey of truth. Know this, you are not alone. Though people may not understand what's happening inside you, the unseen world does. And they are guiding you without needing to speak. This letter was never just a letter. It was a key to unlock memories buried deep in your soul's archive. To bring clarity to a mystery you've carried unknowingly since birth. And now that it's open, nothing will ever feel the same again. Type Amen to get blessing 1001. The moment you finished reading the last word of that letter, the air around you shifted. It became heavier, charged, as if something ancient had been watching and now finally took a step forward. You weren't alone in that room anymore. Your mother's essence had awakened within you. There was a sudden flicker in the light above, and an image flashed in your mind. The red cloth, a symbol etched on stone, and your childhood home surrounded by whispers. It wasn't just memory, it was an activation. Something had just been triggered inside you. The man, in his final note, scribbled hurriedly in the margins, "Whatever you do, follow the dream." She left the coordinates there, not in maps, but in emotion. That line pierces through the veil of logic, forcing your heart to lead for the first time in years. And then you remember, the recurring dream. The field with the lone white horse. The sound of bells in the distance. And a woman standing with her back turned, whispering your name. You thought it was imagination. But now you know, it was her. Type Amen to get blessing 3003. There was one more item enclosed in the envelope, folded so tightly it took you minutes to unroll it. A faded photograph, half torn, showing your mother standing beside a man you've never seen. But something about his face sends a jolt down your spine. This was the man she never spoke of, the one the family erased from every conversation. He wasn't just a friend. He was part of the story you were never allowed to know. And based on what's now being revealed, he was the beginning of everything. The man who wrote the letter explains, your mother's silence about him wasn't to hide pain, it was to protect a legacy. That man was your mother's first protector. A faded photograph, half torn, showing your mother standing beside a man you've never seen. But something about his face sends a jolt down your spine. This was the man she never spoke of, the one the family erased from every conversation. He wasn't just a friend. He was part of the story you were never allowed to know. And based on what's now being revealed, he was the beginning of everything. The man who wrote the letter explains, your mother's silence about him wasn't to hide pain, it was to protect a legacy. That man was your mother's first protector. A spiritual warrior who gave her the strength to make the decisions that changed your destiny. But he vanished. No death certificate. No burial. Just gone. And now, the person who once knew your mother best believes he's alive. Watching. Waiting. And when he returns, everything will realign. Type Amen to get blessing 5555. This is not just a family secret, it is a divine inheritance. Your bloodline was never ordinary. Your ancestors were keepers of sacred knowledge, protectors of realms beyond the visible. And your mother was the last trained one, until now. That's why you've always felt different. Not just emotionally, but energetically. You felt people shrink around you. You sensed danger before it came. You had dreams that matched events before they happened. All of it was tied to who she was, and who you are now becoming. The man finishes his story with an instruction. You must return to the garden behind the old willow tree. You haven't thought of that tree in years, but you know exactly where it is. He says she left something there, sealed in wood, hidden under loose soil and intention. You'll know it's the right spot when you see 3 black feathers lying in a straight line. That's when you must kneel and place your palm on the earth. The ground will feel like it's pulsing, almost breathing. That's your signal to dig. Type Amen to get blessing 9999. He warns that once you uncover what's hidden, people will begin to behave strangely around you. Not out of harm, but confusion. Some will be drawn to your presence, others will distance themselves without reason. Don't chase or explain. Your vibration will speak louder than your voice ever could. Archangel Michael says, now is the time to reclaim everything they tried to take from your family. Your mother didn't suffer for nothing. She was preserving something meant only for you. The relic hidden in that garden isn't gold or jewels. It's knowledge. Sacred scrolls written in the old tongue, protected by energy barriers only her bloodline can break. That's why your hands may shake when you get near it. It's not fear, it's recognition. The world isn't ready for what's inside, but you are. Type Amen to get blessing 6060. He also leaves a voice recording, captured years ago on a tiny cassette. Your mother's voice speaks faintly, my child. If you're hearing this, then it means the veil has lifted. Trust your feet. They'll know where to take you. Don't look back. Her voice breaks midway through, a soft sob following. And in that moment, you feel something shift in your chest, an emotion that's older than grief, a knowing, a homecoming. Your mother didn't just birth you, she designed you for this moment. The dreams will intensify in the coming days. She'll visit you more directly. The woman in the blue dress. The scent of lavender when there's no flowers near. All of it will be her. Let her guide you through this. Because you're no longer just uncovering a secret. You're stepping into your calling. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. The man ends with one final instruction. Don't tell anyone until the crescent moon appears again. He says that revealing too much too soon will awaken forces not ready to be dealt with. Some secrets need timing. Some truths need patience. He signs the letter not with his name, but with a symbol. The same one your mother used to draw on napkins when she thought you weren't watching. The spiral with 3 points. It meant rebirth. It all makes sense now. She wasn't preparing you for a normal life. She was preparing you to awaken when the world needed it most. And that moment is now. Type Amen to get blessing 1122. The tears will come, not from pain, but from remembrance. You're not just healing yourself, you're healing generations before you. The silence that imprisoned your mother will not hold you. You are the one they waited for. And though the man who once knew your family may vanish again, his purpose is complete. He passed the torch. Now it's your flame to carry. Let it burn. Type Amen to get blessing 7777. He wrote in a final line, barely legible, as if his hand trembled under the weight of truth. If you feel something walking behind you after reading this, don't run. That is her. She walks with you now. Those words don't frighten you. They unlock something long dormant. You finally understand the presence you felt since childhood wasn't imagination, but inheritance. The wind feels different now. It carries messages, even in silence. Each breeze brushes against your skin with familiarity, like a mother's touch. This isn't a haunting. It's a reunion. From this moment forward, you are marked by knowledge. You are no longer simply the child of your mother. You are the keeper of her story, her unfinished work, her spiritual legacy. The pain you once felt about her absence now transforms into power. The man knew your mother's truth couldn't be kept in tombs or whispers forever. He knew that your soul had ripened for revelation. And now, what was hidden becomes your armor. Type Amen to get blessing 171717. The trees will now seem to speak when you walk among them. The stars will blink in rhythms only you understand. Music will sound different, as though coded messages are now embedded in the melodies. This is the sacred awareness your mother carried. The reason she avoided crowded rooms. The reason she would suddenly go quiet mid-sentence. She was hearing things others couldn't. Seeing things the world denies. And now, so are you. Her silence was never betrayal. It was protection. She was shielding you not from truth, but from danger, until your spirit was strong enough to face it. Archangel Michael says, your awakening may bring challenges, but it also activates allies you don't yet know exist. Watch for strangers who say they feel like they've met you before. They are echoes of her circle. Watch for children who stare into your eyes too long. They see her in you. You carry not just blood, but prophecy. Type Amen to get blessing 101010. Return now to the place where she once took you at dawn. The quiet hill with the 3 flat stones. That was not just a walk, it was a spiritual deposit. She planted energy there, waiting for your grown soul to retrieve it. Stand barefoot. Let your skin touch the earth. Speak nothing. Just feel. The vibration will rise through your bones and into your memory. That's when you'll hear her voice, not in your ears, but in your bloodstream. Your life will never be normal again. But normal was never the plan. The man who wrote you warned that one more revelation is coming. One more name. He did not write it in the letter. He burned it instead. But he said it would come to you in your sleep, from her lips. When she says it, you'll wake with your heart racing. That name is the final piece. And once spoken aloud, it will shatter what's left of the illusion you've lived in. Type Amen to get blessing 555555. The people who dismissed you before, who called your sensitivity a weakness, will soon look at you with awe. They will feel the shift but not understand it. Let them wonder. You do not owe explanations for your rising. You will begin to notice light differently. Auras, pulses, glows around certain people and objects. This isn't superstition. This is inheritance. Your mother's gift has returned through you, amplified, purified, made ready for this era. The man also mentioned a key, not physical, but spiritual. He said, the day she gave birth to you, she whispered a phrase into your left ear before you cried. That phrase, once remembered, unlocks the final memory she stored within you. Sit still. Let the silence speak. It will come. And when it does, you'll weep, but not out of sorrow, out of arrival. Type Amen to get blessing 999999. Now you must be careful who you share this with. Not because of fear, but because the weight of this truth is sacred. Some will want to distort it. Some will try to diminish it with logic and denial. Do not argue. Walk forward. The man's journey is done. He said he will return to the forest where she once ran barefoot, carrying a candle and a promise. His role was never to be the center. He was the messenger. And now, that torch is in your hands. You have been summoned to complete the circle. To finish the whisper she began, to rise where she knelt, to break where she endured, and to fly where she once walked alone. This is not a burden. This is your becoming. Type Amen to get blessing 303030. The path will clear in strange ways. People will exit your life with no warning. Don't chase. Don't mourn. They were tied to the version of you that didn't know this truth. The new you must make room for what your mother planted beyond time. Watch for feathers, coins, repeated dreams, flickering lights, chills without temperature drops. She is orchestrating signs to tell you she is near, that she has never left, that she's proud of you for reaching this moment. When your hands shake, when your lips tremble, when your eyes tear for no reason, that is her soul overlapping with yours. Archangel Michael says, let this new light settle inside you before you try to move too fast. Your soul is expanding. Let it stretch. Let it stabilize. And then, build the legacy she was never allowed to finish. Type Amen to get blessing 808,080. In the weeks to come, you will receive unexpected messages. The man also mentioned a key, not physical, but spiritual. He said, "The day she gave birth to you, she whispered a phrase into your left ear before you cried. That phrase, once remembered, unlocks the final memory she stored within you. Sit still. Let the silence speak. It will come. And when it does, you'll weep, but not out of sorrow, out of arrival." Type Amen to get blessing 999999. Now you must be careful who you share this with. Not because of fear, but because the weight of this truth is sacred. Some will want to distort it. Some will try to diminish it with logic and denial. Do not argue. Walk forward. The man's journey is done. He said he will return to the forest where she once ran barefoot, carrying a candle and a promise. His role was never to be the center. He was the messenger. And now, that torch is in your hands. You have been summoned to complete the circle, to finish the whisper she began, to rise where she knelt, to break where she endured, and to fly where she once walked alone. This is not a burden. This is your becoming. Type Amen to get blessing 303030. The path will clear in strange ways. People will exit your life with no warning. Don't chase. Don't mourn. They were tied to the version of you that didn't know this truth. The new you must make room for what your mother planted beyond time. Watch for feathers, coins, repeated dreams, flickering lights, chills without temperature drops. She is orchestrating signs to tell you she is near, that she has never left, that she's proud of you for reaching this moment. When your hands shake, when your lips tremble, when your eyes tear for no reason, that is her soul overlapping with yours. Archangel Michael says, "Let this new light settle inside you before you try to move too fast. Your soul is expanding. Let it stretch. Let it stabilize. And then, build the legacy she was never allowed to finish." Type Amen to get blessing 808,080. In the weeks to come, you will receive unexpected messages. People from the past. Strangers in dreams. Random objects falling off shelves. Do not dismiss any of it. Everything is orchestrated now. The veil has thinned. The energy of your bloodline is awakening. Your mother was the last guardian. And you are the next. Carry her torch. Speak only when your spirit says, now. Let her story pass through you, not for fame, not for pity, but for power. The divine has chosen you to close what she began, and to open a future she never had the time to reach. Type Amen to get blessing 191919.